Hey you, it's Lou, and today I'm going to show you how you can draw these three kitties. I'm going to be using Procreate throughout this tutorial, but feel free to follow along in whatever art program you may use, or even with pen and paper. Alright, let's go. So, first and foremost, we're going to create our canvas. I will be using one that is 3300 by 1700 pixels, so we'll have enough space to draw all three cats. We're going to be doing 3 different poses as well, so I hope you're ready. Up above we can see our different tools like the brush and the eraser, which we'll use the most. Their size can be changed on the left, and on the right we can also see our layer manager. On the color wheel I'll pick a blue color for my sketch, and I will be using my favorite brush, which is the HB pencil, but you can use whichever brush you prefer. So, to begin drawing our first cat's head, we're going to draw an oval shape that is narrow on the top and wide at the bottom. We'll add an ear as well, and try not to make it too pointy if you're going for a cuter look. Once we're happy with our ear, we can use the selections tool to circle it, and then we can swipe down on the screen with 3 fingers. Selecting duplicate will create a copy of the ear, which we can flip using the transform tools menu at the bottom. Once we have both ears, we can merge both layers by pinching them together. We'll add wisps of fur inside of the ears and make the head a little bit wider. Once the base of the head is ready, we can start drawing the body. We'll start with 2 diagonal lines, followed by 2 curved ones representing the hind legs. We'll draw 4 lines representing the front legs, but try not to make them too thin. The paws will consist of oval shapes that don't connect at the top. We can always use the select and transform tools to move parts of our sketch around. The tail will be a simple set of curved lines. We can move the ears a bit upward to make them look a little bit perkier. We'll draw a faint reference line in the middle of the face and begin drawing the eyes. For cats, I like to draw big eyes with pointy edges and elongated pupils. Remember that you can tap the screen with 2 fingers to go back if you do make a mistake. The nose will be a small V shape that connects at the top, and the mouth will be a wavy shape. We can select the facial features and move them around the head to see where we prefer them. Once we like their position, we'll draw the whiskers. I'm thinking this guy could be fluffier, so let's add some rounded spiky shapes to give that illusion. I'll also be making the ears a little bit smaller. Remember, this is just a sketch, so you can be as silly as you want. Don't be afraid to try out different features and proportions. You can end up finding a combination that you really like. I like to remove part of the boundary between the heads and the ears so they don't feel too separate. We add a bit more fluff, and just like that, our sketch is done. To begin lining, we'll decrease our sketch layer's opacity and create a new layer for line art. I'll put them in a group called Cat 1. After locking the sketch, I'll select a darker color and begin drawing clean lines using the same brush, HB pencil. You can make your curved strokes cleaner by holding the pencil to the screen for a moment before letting go. Now that the line art is done, I'll delete the sketch and create a new layer underneath it. In this layer, I'll color in the line art as a base. We'll alpha lock the coloring layer so that we'll only be able to color within its boundaries. For the main fur color, I'll go with a light cream. I'll be adding a gray point coloration, meaning the face, ears, legs, and tail will be darker. I'll use a darker reddish tone to add some texture to the body as well. I'll use a darker, more saturated version of the cream color to add some shadows. I'll define them and then soften their edges slightly. We'll fill in the ears and nose with a reddish tone and pick our eye color. We'll begin with a lighter shade and then add a darker block on top. After filling in the pupils, we'll use our gray to add some stripes and patterns to the legs, tail, and face. Small cats need their tiger stripes too. After changing the shapes of the face coloration to our liking, we'll add some highlights to the eyes and nose. I like doing little triangles, but you can do any shape you like. Our coloring layer is complete. All there's left to do is coloring the liner. We'll alpha lock the layer so only the line art will be filled in. We'll go with darker, more saturated versions of the colors we've already used. We can also go to hue and saturation and choose how dark or light our lines will be. And voila! Cat 1 is done! In a new layer, we'll begin our Cat 2 sketch. We'll be doing a more angular, lanky design. The head will be a diamond shape, and the ears will be pointier than Cat 1's. Cat 2's eyes will be sharper and its pupils will be thinner. The eyes consist of an anchored diagonal line from which we can draw the top eyelid. Cat 2 will be looking over its shoulder, so we'll draw the beginning of the neck and the area where the chest would begin. Then we'll work on a thin egg shape, which will be the cat's back. We'll add 2 curved lines at the sides, just like we did with Cat 1. We also will place the head higher up to make the cat look lankier. Our egg shape won't fully connect at the top, so it doesn't look separate from the head. We can adjust the size of the ears and the eyes to our liking. Once we're done, we'll create a new layer for the tail. That way we won't affect our sketch if we have to erase the tail and start over. We can also use the transform tool to mess with the tail shape until we're satisfied with it. Now that the sketch is done, we'll proceed to work on a liner layer. With the lines done, we'll block in the coloring layer and alpha lock it to render inside it. We'll make a bit of a dark to light gradient like we did with Cat 1 and then do the shadows. I recommend using a textured brush. I personally really like one called Plimsoll. The eyes will have 2 shades of green and very light yellow for the highlights. After coloring the ears, we'll make a new layer on top of our current one. Here we can try and make some patterns for our cat. Once you land on a design you like, you can merge the layers together. Now that the coloring is done, all we have to do is add some color to the lines by alpha locking the liner layer. We can also check out different color combinations using the hue and saturation tool. Finally, we'll get started on cat 3. This time our cat's head will be at a slight angle. Once the head's done, we'll draw a bit of a hump and connect it all the way with the bottom of the head. We're drawing a cat loaf. We can add some tufts of hair inside of the ears and draw the facial features slightly off-center to signal our perspective. The eyes are easy, just horizontal and diagonal lines. After making sure Cat 3's cheeks are sufficiently chubby, we'll add the whiskers and a little color for fashion purposes. We can adjust the head's perspective slightly using the transform tool. All done. Time to line. Once we finish color blocking on a new layer, we'll work on our gradient and our shadows. We'll also be adding light tone details on the face and chest to contrast with the darker orange. Let's give this kitty some stripes, why not? We'll be coloring the line art as the final touch. And that's it! That's how I draw cats. I really hope this video will help you draw some adorable kitties. And if you do follow this, please tag me on Instagram so I can see the result. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see ya in my next video!